All right. And we're waiting for that green light. And, oh, your video did something funny. And we're live. Good morning. All right. It's Me More Monday. And, well, we just don't have any new spicier memes coming out. So we're going to talk about a little something different. Here we go. Yeah, that's enough of that. I'm going to have to update that stinger because I got bored watching it. Damn.
Just
Oh,
needs music.
it needs music. It needs a little like page shuffle sound effect and maybe run it a little faster. It's too long. It doesn't need to be more than about 5 seconds, I think. Anyway, what should we do to prevent another mass shooting? Shoot back. Exactly. Always be prepared. Good Lord, Charlie Brown. You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. So here's what I wanted to talk about this morning. We talked about what to talk about this morning, but frankly, there's not a lot to talk about with the impeachment stuff. It's really easy. There's been three major witnesses, and none of them are actually relevant material witnesses. So
Yeah, they all talk about their feelings. I've listened to almost all of everything from both days, and the vast majority of what they discuss is Trump's not doing things the normal way, and it makes me feel uncomfortable.
yeah, and
Like that is,
the what's her face Ivanovich, is that the woman that the on the second day, uh, her testimony was like, wait, she doesn't even seem to know that Donald Trump's the president. She's so far removed from it. So
yeah, never met him, never talked to him,
so
was
this is what I
fired.
want to talk about this morning, and I want to talk about this morning for one very important reason. Let me run over it real quick. We brought this up on Friday for a minute. Um, And you'll notice this is the most recent article I could find. I'm going to show you something in just a second here, which was published on the 14th and updated on the 15th. Frantic parents. There was a shooting. It's not a mass shooting. Only two dead. Definition of a mass shooting is three or more. Which is a stupid definition for a phrase like mass shooting. Because okay, I'm going to try to stay focused here, but there's so much that's worth talking about every time you hear the words mass shooting or school shooting. For one, this one actually happened at a school. Now, often the words school shooting are used when gang violence occurs near a school. That's incorrect. That's misleading. That's a misleading statement. Also, often, that a shooting happened at a school will prompt the media to report on it as a mass shooting, even if it was only one or two people killed, which is also misleading because the average American hears mass shooting and they immediately assume that there are tens of people at least wounded, if not dead. In most people's brains, when they hear mass shooting, what they actually think they heard was Las Vegas. And that's a whole nother.
Columbine.
Yeah, Las Vegas, Columbine. Um, I mean, let's be real. Heritage High School, where we had our mass shooting experience, I won't say it wasn't a tragedy. It wasn't a nightmare, but it was not Las Vegas. It was not the Pulse nightclub, right? Um, But here's an article from the New York Times, and good on you for writing an article. Well, we are not hearing anything about this shooting, and here's why. It's not complicated. The shooter is not a white male. There are only two victims. The shooter was apparently interrupted by armed police officers who were there off duty dropping off their kids that morning. And the shooter only brought, from the reports, it looks like the shooter only brought 6 rounds to begin with. So he shot off 5 and then shot himself.
So it wasn't a white guy, and he didn't use one of the scary guns.
And he had a handgun. So you're not going to hear about this story. It's already out of the headlines, precisely because it's not a white guy and it's not a black rifle. It's that simple. So here's something interesting. I went ahead and I was looking for the article this morning. Just about half an hour ago. Watch this. California school shooting. Anything jump out at you? Oh, it's not even here. Apparently, there was another school shooting in California yesterday. Right?
Which is odd because it's Sunday.
It was a football game. Right? But other than that, you're almost out of articles to look for before you see anything about Santa Clarita. To find the article, I had to search for Santa Clarita school shooting. Right? So let's see. Washington Post, maybe? Excuse me. Oh, hey.
Called it.
Trump pulls back for ban he once supported on flavored e-cigarettes is apparently bigger news than... Oh, well, it looks like there's some images from the umbrella protests. Oh, no. Okay, yeah. Whistleblowers' sources exposed things that didn't need to be exposed. Okay, well, back-to-back losses in key governors' races. Nothing. Okay. How about CNN? Trump attacks witnesses. His impeachment defense faces... Okay. We're probably not even going to get around to this because it'll be such old news by the time it's time to talk about this kind of stuff again, and I want to try and stay on topic and get done today. But I read the tweets. This attacks witness, and the people are referring to the tweets that Trump tweeted during Ivanovich's testimony as threats. As he made threats on her life, and he's trying to incite violence against her life. I read the tweets. He said she was bad at her job, and he fired her for it. That's what he tweeted.
Yeah, and apparently the president of Ukraine agreed with that assessment.
Yeah. And there you go. Nothing, Trump, Jake Tapper. Oh, and Kaepernick. Nothing about this shooting. It just, over the weekend, it just disappeared. It just full on vanished. Now, I want to pop up this one real quick. Just a little callback. This is, and okay, the name's on the screen, but I will not say it out loud. I will not read it out loud over the air. But age 21 of Dallas. Today he shot and killed at least 19 people with an AK-47 style rifle at a Walmart in El Paso. AK-47 style rifle, because it was not an AK-47, and they need to say the words AK-47 because it poll tests as a scary number. Kind of like how they stopped saying quid pro quo and started saying bribes. He's not an immigrant. He's not Muslim. He's not an ISIS. He's yet another homegrown domestic white supremacist terrorist who on his Twitter idolizes Trump, KKK leader David Duke, Dylan Roof, the white supremacist who shot up the black church in Charleston. He drove to El Paso to target Hispanic Americans there. America, we have a huge problem that a wall won't fix. Okay, the first problem with this run of logic from Occupy Democrats. And this idea that he idolizes Donald Trump, this kid left a manifesto. He hated Donald Trump. He made a point of that. That one monster idolizes another monster is not surprising with David Duke and Dylan Roof here. And he wasn't a white supremacist. He was an eco-terrorist. He may have been I think he was a white nationalist, not a white supremacist. And that's an important distinction. I am neither, but the distinction between the two is significant. But this last line, America, we have a huge problem that a wall won't fix. That statement, that is a true statement. America has several problems that a wall won't fix. For example, we have some outdated infrastructure in our cities that building a wall to curb illegal immigration will not fix. That statement ignores the fact that there is a problem that the wall will fix. You see this a lot. We have a huge problem that a wall won't fix. That type of rhetoric, that type of logic. But just because we have a problem that this solution is not for, doesn't mean that we don't have a problem that can be solved with the application of this solution. You have a gunshot wound that an IV won't fix. Yeah, that's why you're going to stitch up the gunshot wound and give me an IV with a saline drip for the dehydration resulting from blood loss. So, Gabe, you got anything else on that one?
Just kind of funny. And I think I like the alliterative way you spelled it out, that it wasn't a white man or a black rifle. So we're just gonna get rid of that. And then here's the other thing that I think is really funny. Schools, as I understand them, are inherently gun-free zones. Like,
yes,
basically any public school is a gun-free zone. These off-duty police officers, well, they were off-duty, but they were carrying guns inside the gun-free zone and were able to respond to the situation immediately. It didn't just go away because the optics are not good for their narrative, but it went away because the optics literally contradict their narrative.
And we talked about this last Friday, and we will talk about it more and more and more. If you're involved in a shooting, if there's an active shooter situation that arises where you the viewer, if I happen to be in an active shooter situation and I happen to be unarmed because I'm trying to comply with the wishes of a gun-free zone. Okay. But seriously, if you're in a gun-free zone and unarmed and there is an active shooter situation, I don't care if you get shot or not. If you come out the other end of it alive, you should personally, every single person there should personally file suit against everybody that could possibly have a financial obligation to the property. So let's say you're at a grocery store at a strip mall. You should sue the corporate store, the owner of the strip mall, the local municipality, if the gun-free zone is part of the local ordinance. You should sue everybody that had any even tangential relationship to the placement of that gun-free zone sign. And make it clear, if you are going to demand gun-free zones, then you are responsible for the security of the people in that zone. If you are going to strip away our right to our self-defense in any capacity whatsoever, then All situations which occur as a result of insufficient security to prevent such a situation are your absolute moral and financial responsibility.
Yeah, no, 100%. And that's all I got this morning.
That's all I've got. All right, be safe out there, kids. Time to go to work. See you tomorrow.
Yes, sir. Oh, wake the hell up. Go enjoy Monday.
Yeah, wake the hell
That's
up.
okay. We'll tease it tomorrow.
We forgot to tease the video. Yeah. We'll do it tomorrow.